Hey everyone, Rawdawg Rory here, and we're chilling at our friend Leslie's house in Ashland, Oregon. And today I want to share a little bit about kitchen gizmos and how many do you really freaking need. And we're not talking about big gizmos, we're not talking about like Vitamixes, blenders, juicers, none of that stuff. We're going to be focusing on those little doodads that seem to accumulate in your drawers and make your kitchen look more like a workshop than somewhere where you want to concoct delicious, tasty raw eats. And first thing I want to focus on is knives. You know, a lot of people think to get started in raw foods or to really get started in culinary work, you need to go out and buy like a big giant butcher block full of knives. You got to get all these different blades to work with. For me, I've been doing raw foods for over 3.5 years now, and I found that I get most of my work done just using a regular large kitchen knife and chef knife, and this thing works perfectly for so many tasks. It goes even beyond just cutting. Let me show you real quick. You know, garlic, if you go and shop around and look in the aisles of kitchen gizmos, it seems like they can devote an entire shelf to garlic products. You know what I mean? They got those little silicone things. You pop the garlic clove in and you roll it. There goes the skin. Then you got another thing, a garlic press. You pop the garlic in there and try to squeeze it out. Well, I always had a bit of bad luck with those suckers. It always seemed that after I would squeeze the garlic through that bad boy, after using the other little device to peel it, then I have to get in there with a little paring knife and scrape all the garlicky goodness off the garlic press. And then trying to wash that thing, forget about it. You can get, you can get all this done using just a big kitchen knife with a nice flat blade like that. Just take your garlic clove, there's a nice big end right here. And I like to trim off the little root end right here. Just one little cut there. Get rid of that. And now lay your garlic clove on there. Just lay your blade flat across it and make a fist. And using the bottom of your fist, just lightly pow, pop it like that. And the skin pops off, usually in one piece. Ta-da! And then now, so you've eliminated the peeler and you've just about eliminated the press. Here's the second part to that. Take your knife blade, lay it on there flat again, and really give it another good smash, like totally squish your garlic. Now you got your garlic flattened out, and now instead of going with one of those rolling mincer devices, which I've always found if you used one of those bad boys for like herbs, like 80% of the herbs you were mincing are up in the mincer, and then you got to take it apart and scrape it out. It's a big old pain in the butt. Mincing with a big kitchen knife is super duper easy. Anyone can do it. It just takes a teeny bit of practice, if any. Just take your knife. You want to have a nice rounded blade like that, and lay the edge of the tip of it on your cutting board and place one hand, the fingertips, just on there, and guide the knife with your other hand and just get a rocking motion going. And see that? It starts to go nicely mincing the garlic, and then you can increase your speed. And see, your fingers are up here and up here, so they're not getting involved in any of this cutting action. And now you want to like gather your garlic together or whatever you're mincing. Use the back of the blade so that way you don't dull your blade when you're gathering stuff up. And then, voila, just go back to mincing. And not only did you save yourself the time of getting out all these little individual kitchen gadgets to mince your garlic, but you also saved yourself the hassle of trying to clean the garlic funk off of several little kitchen devices and then waiting for them to dry properly before you can store them back in your drawer, where they're just going to go back to taking up space and making more of a pain in the butt for you in the kitchen. Now, while we're talking about knives, one really important thing about your kitchen knife is you always want to keep it super duper sharp. And you would think that's a dangerous thing, but it's actually a lot safer to have your kitchen knives good and sharpened rather than dull. Because if you have a dull knife and you're going to work with a piece of food and you're pressing down to get it through that food because it's too dull to just slice through it cleanly, it can roll off and get you, which is not a good thing. So a knife sharpener, you get a simple one like this where you just guide the blade through. Do that a few times a week. Clean off the little metal shavings on there, or if you want to go and get the traditional knife sharpener and learn how to do all that, go for it. That works too. And this is my main knife here, my main kitchen knife. Travel with it everywhere. But when I have to do other little like tiny jobs and do like decorating, garnishing, and all that crap, I just use a couple of little paring knives like these. Inexpensive, I keep them sharpened very nicely as well. And that's about it. That's all I need for knives. And then for other cutting jobs, there are 2 kitchen gadgets that would go in your drawer that I do recommend. And that's a vegetable peeler, just a standard flat blade one that's gonna give you some nice strips. You can use this on cucumber or zucchini to make nice flat noodles for doing a pad thai. And you could stack them up and slice them into pasta strips. And if you want to even save that step, get yourself a julienne peeler. Same design, but it has these little blades going across. So that way, when you peel, at the same time you're peeling, these blades cut them right across. So you can peel, literally peel a cucumber or zucchini into strips or shreds that make awesome noodles. I use it to peel carrots into little noodly strips, and I marinate them and put them in a wrap. Mwah, it's delicious. And now another group of kitchen gizmos that tends to clutter up our drawer are juicers. You've seen those little hand-pressed juicers for limes. Usually they're plastic. Sometimes you get one that's like cast metal. It's really heavy duty. But I found more often than not they're a pain in the butt. They don't really get as much juice out as I would like to. And then they're difficult to clean on top of it. So a good alternative to those is just a little hand reamer. You know, get that in your citrus, wring it out. And I like to use like the sprouting jar lids to strain it through. You could use a nut milk bag, or you could just use your hands and pour the juice through, catch the seeds into whatever you're doing. And so these are a great tool. Me, when I do it, I usually just use my hand, just crush them. But if you don't have that gorilla wrist strength, don't worry about it. Just use one of these bad boys, makes it super easy. And by doing this, you can really help declutter your kitchen. Start giving all those extra gizmos away to friends, family, Goodwill, whatever. So that way, when you go to work in your kitchen, you can find what you need right away. It doesn't look like a disaster area, and it's more welcoming for you to come in, goof off, play around with your food, have a good time, and enjoy the whole process of creating your awesome raw yummy goodness. Peace out, everyone.